Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast. As always, I am your host, the BeerDad himself, Justin Allen, and I am not joined by my co-host, Brandon. He will be here shortly, not on this episode, but I'm out of town, and I figured why not mess around and record a podcast? And so I ran into an old friend, and this kind of just came together last minute. So this is going to be a special bonus episode, but a really good special bonus episode because for the first time ever in the history of the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast, we'll have beer. It's okay. I know the beer aficionados would get mad if we didn't. However, we are going to have wine for the first time ever. It's been talked about. It's been threatened, but it's actually going to happen because we are joined here by John Mattson from Thin Vine Wines. John, how the hell are you?
Hurts so good. Beer and wine, right? I'm
Sounds
good,
like a good time, right? Sounds like a
Yeah.
great time.
So when you mentioned running into a friend you haven't seen, why were you talking about me or were you talking about Anthony?
Oh, yeah, there's Anthony Mobley here, too.
Yeah, don't forget about me.
Yeah, don't be rude.
No, he was already here. Yeah. But yeah, this is like really weird because we all used to work together, and then flash forward to the year 2023. Like, remember Conan O'Brien used to do the like go in the future, and I don't think we would have believed it if we would have said in 2023 in La Jolla we're gonna sit down, Anthony, Justin, and John, and we're gonna have wine that John owns the company or part of the company, and he's going to sample this wine on a podcast that Justin does, and Anthony will also be coming from Sacramento to San Diego. So all that shit, we would be like, what? That would never happen.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But here we are, and it happened.
Stomped on the grapes myself, so
Yes.
enjoy those feet grapes. I'm just kidding. No,
Please
we
tell
don't do
me.
that anymore.
Please tell me you didn't wash your feet that day.
I usually don't.
Okay.
I usually don't. Yeah, I know.
Does anybody really wash their feet?
I don't think so.
I think they do.
Do they?
Yeah, and I'm a tall dude, and I still do.
Really?
Sometimes. I mean, usually. Yeah.
I always thought that, like, you know, when you're showering and the soap's all down there and you just, like,
It's
kinda
running
scrub
down
your
there
feet.
anyways. Yeah, I hear
You
you.
know?
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. I guess it's running down there anyways. You know, I guess they're kind of cleaning. It's like a self-cleaning kind of thing.
Yeah, unless you were, like, I don't know, like, you stepped in some shit or something. Then you would really scrub
Yeah.
down there, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Or you took your shoes off and walked through the lobby of the Marriott. Where are we at? Marriott?
I don't know
Hyatt.
what it-
Hyatt.
It's a Hyatt.
Oh yeah.
The Hyatt
Yeah.
Avertine?
They make you put your
Fancy.
shoes on here, I think.
They do. And we're actually in the lobby of the Hyatt Avertine. So this is the first time for the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast because while I have recorded at a hotel before, it's never been in the lobby. So here we are. But
Yes, sir.
we are here because we're featuring your company, Thin
Yes,
Vine
sir.
Wines, and I'm really excited about that because I'm excited for you because this is a venture that you've not taken lightly, and you've really made it into a success story because starting – we always have those stories of, you know, the humble beginnings, and you know, I've known you since the beginning of this and where you're at now, and then also where you're going to go in the future, and I think it's really cool. So tell the listeners of the BeerDad and Brew Podcast a little bit about Thin Vine Wines.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And likewise, I've been following you and the BrewDad and Beard Beard and Dad. I have a beard and I'm a dad.
Say it
podcast.
five times fast.
Yeah,
You'll get it
no.
right eventually.
No, but man, same thing. I've been following you since you started this. So much respect and love for what you do. Thank you for having us. I think we jumped on one of your lives one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so started Thin Vine Wines, and we were still in dispatch full time, and I was sitting on graveyards, and I kind of have that entrepreneurial bug. Just my wheels are always spinning, and rather than sit there and play Sudoku or crochet a blanket like some people allegedly might do
Mobley.
in dispatch, in case y'all officers ever wonder why your traffic doesn't get answered. In a
Anthony making a blanket.
fast amount of time.
It's
Anthony's
cold.
over there crocheting a freaking blanket for the winter, bruh. That's what you're getting in your Christmas basket. But yeah, so wanted to create a product that one that I was passionate about and that honored law enforcement and first responders in general, especially dispatch, because not a lot of products acknowledge dispatchers. So wanted to
Hoorah.
create something. Yeah, thank you, sir. And yeah, so I was passionate about wine. So sought out to create a wine label that honored first responders and gave back a little bit. So we started with our Thin Blue Vine label to honor law enforcement, obviously, and then we branched out from there. So now we have one for fire, military, dispatch, of course, EMS, and then breast cancer in honor of my aunt. She's a survivor. and we donate $2 back from every label to a nonprofit related to one of those causes. So that's what we're all about, wine with a purpose, and the wine's solid. We don't put anything out that we wouldn't drink ourselves. We try not to get high on our own supply so much, but hey, we got to test it first and make sure we're putting out a killer product. So
that's really hard. I love it. I love the story, and I love, you literally working in law enforcement and just kind of came up with the idea. And it's nice that you're, one of very few companies that actually gives back. Every purchase, donating to different said charities for, kind of each organization. I just think that's really cool.
Thank you, brother.
It's wine. It's wine. The Beer Dad, he's not much of a wine guy. However, we've talked about it before. I drink wine. I do. It's just not my go-to. It's not my vice, but I'm excited to try it.
And I love craft beer, too.
Talk about it.
Yeah. I'm a big craft beer drinker. Being in San Diego, craft beer capital, fight me if you want to. We're the craft beer capital, man. So I love
They
craft
agree
beer.
on our show. They know.
Love a good whiskey. I'm an equal opportunity drinker. I don't discriminate,
I like it.
All booze matters.
All booze does matter, and this is this is really cool because we've never really had wine on the show, and I know that wine, much like beer, kind of goes hand in hand, and especially like in the craft industry, and in terms of you got craft beer aficionados. Like some people say, I might be one of those. I just like beer. I don't really like the aficionado word or that, right? I love it. I respect it. I like the craft. I like to brew it. It's just something that is my shtick. But I do appreciate wine, and it's very, similar process to beer. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Fermentation's very similar. It's a cool thing. And in terms of like the beer world and the wine world, they work kind of hand in hand and have have a lot of similarities. So, we talked about it earlier. You got your wine buffs that actually go to classes and get certified, the sommeliers of the wine world, right?
Yep.
Well, we got that in craft beer. We've got Cicerone, right? So they can go to those classes and tell you tasting notes and all that stuff is very, very similar. And sometimes you'll have some cross-trained, beer tenders, bartenders that will be both a Cicerone and a sommelier. And dude, that's a lot of work because those tests aren't easy.
Yeah. It's a lot of drinking.
It is a lot of drinking. So those guys are experts. If you go to a bar and they have both certifications, I'm pretty sure you're going to get poured a solid drink, whatever they recommend.
Yeah, man. And we just started getting into retail, and we were talking about that earlier. And we're meeting a lot of sommeliers, like level 3, who are the highest level ones. Yeah. And it's intimidating.
Yeah.
They have a college education on wine. And it can be a little intimidating going in there, and
what kind of wine can I get? I'm like afraid. Can I just say red wine? Is that a thing? Is that okay? Like I don't want to offend you. Like sorry.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We wanted to put something out that wine can be intimidating. It definitely can be intimidating.
It is.
So we wanted to put something out that was, kind of right there, approachable, and we're an approachable company. I'd like to think to where it kind of takes away some of that. Intimidation that comes along with like wine and wine tasting and all that. So, but going into and tasting with a Somm level 3, it's a little nerve wracking. And they have a freaking game face. They're just sitting there tasting it, and you have no idea what they're thinking. You don't know if they're about to kick you out or just throw it in your face or what. But
I like when they take that after the whole little sniff test and all the thing, a little swirl and then a little taste and then spit out, and then like they do all this stuff, right? It's all this crazy stuff. But when they get that first taste, like you said, they kind of do that like awkward pause. And I think if I was a wine manufacturer or wine company like yourself, and they were doing that to my wine the first time, that'd be the most nerve-wracking. Like I'd be like, so are you gonna say something? Like, is it good? Like, you don't look too happy right now. But they're just like taking it all in and absorbing all the flavors and aromatics and all that kind of. It's just funny to watch. But as someone like you, this is my company, and here's this guy swishing away with my wine, and like I can't read him. I don't know if he likes it or not. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird. So imagine someone tastes your beer and then spits it into a bucket.
Yeah, and you're like, well, bro.
But that's normal in the wine world, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes sometimes they swallow it. But
yeah. That's what she said.
I was about to say, can I say that?
Yeah,
like,
no, you
can
can say that
on here. But
we already said fuck twice.
There's literally a dedicated bucket, and they're tasting our wines and they're spitting them out. I'm like, oh, cool. we're fucked.
Yeah.
They hate us.
He just spit my wine
and
in the
sometimes
bucket.
but I'm like, okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean they don't like it. It's just they're not drinking it to get drunk or a buzz. They're drinking it actually to enjoy it and taste it and learn about it and the flavor profile and all that good stuff. So yeah, but it's interesting.
I like it. And wine is very international. It's a beverage that, other countries, this is like their everyday drinking. Wine at dinner, wine or before dinner. At young ages.
Yeah, Italians, bro, they have wine for breakfast, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I went to Italy and we just got recognized. He's a famous podcaster, bruh.
Look at.
Hey.
We're getting the Mad Dog look right now.
Come back and see me tomorrow. We need to take a selfie at the wall.
There you go.
The Catalina wall.
So
I've never met her in my life. I don't know who that is.
right?
Who is that?
I don't know.
That's your auntie?
Yeah.
But no. So I went to Italy once, and you could go to a liquor store up there. As a our equivalent of a liquor store.
They're kind of like like in Sweden, very similar. It's like the ABC store.
Yeah, exactly.
The state owns the liquor store.
Yeah, so this little like mom and pop shop, and you could get a bottle of like house wine, red wine for $3, and you get a Coke for $5. Which one do you think I'm going to get?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to be cost efficient, man. I'm
Similar
get some
in
wine,
theory
bro.
in Germany, you could get a nice tall stein, liter stein, right? So 32 ounces of beer for roughly around €6 or €7, right? So about $7 or $8 American. Or you can buy water, the Lord's Hydration, for about $9 or $10.
Beer has water in it,
So,
folks. Just
if you
saying.
need to hydrate, just drink some German beer.
Science, Holmes.
That's what we
Science.
figured out when we were over there. We couldn't believe it. We're like, is beer's cheaper than water? How does that make sense?
It's the same way in Spain too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
got some
granted,
good
now
wine, too.
there's our bottled, their water. They don't do plastic in Germany because they're very environmentally friendly. But still, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I can go to the bar and get a liter pour of Polliner, and it's cheaper than that bottle of water I just bought.
Polliner, what is that? It sounds like a paint thinner or something.
It's a German beer.
I don't think you should be drinking that, bro.
Polliner, bro. It's good stuff.
Polliner,
Try it.
man.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite
Burns.
tents. One of my
Burns so
favorite tents
good.
at the Oktoberfest. Yeah. So, well, let's crack a wine.
Okay.
Let's get into this. What are we doing first? Tell us about the wine we're about to experience.
Yeah, so I brought our Peacemaker Pinot, which is our newest red wine dedicated to law enforcement. Peacemaker Pinot Noir. It's a Lodi grape. Real big, bold Pinot. It's not your average light-bodied Pinot. It's actually 14.9 ABV. It's up there. It's actually more cab-like. Big, bold coffee notes on the nose. Black plum, green bell pepper, real earthy Pinot. And then we brought our thin red vine red blend, which is one of my favorites. It's 70% cab, 20% old vine zin, 10% syrah. Real nice, approachable, mellow red blend. Good any time of day. You want to do some day drinking, you crack that guy open. You want to have a nice steak dinner, you crack open the Peacemaker Pinot. And then, of course, we have, obviously, we're here for Dispatch, supporting Dispatch. We have a Dispatcher's wine, too, but I don't have that with us because it's real sweet.
Accounted for.
It's like a dessert wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're not really having dessert right now, but you want to come taste it. You slide into the DMs, Thin Vine Wines, Brad.
Thin Vine Wines. Available on all the social media platforms, right?
Yes, sir.
Instagrams, the Facebooks,
Yes, sir.
the Twitters. Are you on the Twitters?
We are on the Twitters, but I haven't tweeted since 1999 or something, whenever Twitter was first born. So yeah,
I like it.
we've been on there a little bit. We're aging like a wine almost. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had to throw that out because you're going to pour some red wine.
I thought you were about to go to commercial or something, bro.
No.
I'm like, man, this is a good production, man. You got
No.
you got commercial music. And
We do have
everything?
commercials, and we will have one here shortly. But Peacemaker, do it.
All right, I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna pass the mic over to Anthony here. He's gonna talk, and or he's just gonna look.
He's
at
going to hold
us
it. Maybe he'll hold it
Sweet
while you
angel.
open it. Maybe we can get some ASMR for the sound
yeah,
creeps.
let's do that.
Ooh, that's nice. I like
yeah,
that.
let's do that. So, Mr. Mattson, Thin Vine Wines, is currently opening a bottle of Peacemaker red wine. He's twisting. You can't see this right now, but you're going to hear it.
Oh, ready?
Oh, that was
there we
beautiful.
go.
And that's
Sound creeps, you're welcome.
That's actually bad. Like in the Psalm world, you're not supposed to be able to hear that. You lose points for that. I lose points for that.
Well, he did it on purpose. I'm sure he could have made it not as noisy, but that was for the sound creeps.
I lose points every day.
See, here on the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast, we're very popular in the ASMR crowd. We get a lot of private DMs, and I shout this out. Shout out to those guys. Thanks for listening. But they love the sound of beer cans popping, bottles popping, pours, all that kind of stuff. Now, I noticed, because I'm not a wine guy, but you put a special device on the tip of this wine bottle. Oh, yeah. I like that. John, tell us, what is this little thing you put on the tip, just the tip here?
Just the tip. So this is called an aerator. I mentioned our Pinot is real big. It's a big, bold Pinot, so it kind of needs to breathe a little bit. Yeah. But if you don't have time for that, because ain't nobody got time for that. You open your wine, you want to drink it. With just super simple aerator. You get them on Amazon. You can buy them from us, but you get them on Amazon in bulk, and it just helps aerate the wine and open it up really and release those flavors and the aromas. So
I like it. So there it is, Peacemaker Pinot Noir.
I accidentally poured one in a water glass.
Oh, that's okay.
So I'm gonna transition that to
in the wine glass.
And I'll take that one.
Yeah.
But I just gave you a little splash. But yeah, you want more? Let's make it happen here. Cheers.
Yes, here we go. So this is the first wine on the BeerDad and Brewed podcast. So today we are the BeerDad and Grape podcast. I don't know.
However, whatever
Swish
suits
it.
your fancy, but you're supposed to swirl,
Sniff. Yeah, see it?
sniff, sip. Yeah. So swirl it around, let those aromas release.
I feel so fancy right now.
It's a big Pinot, right? What do you
It
think?
is. Yes, it is.
Good. What do you, Anthony? We're gonna ask you because you drink a lot more wine than I do.
What tasting notes do you get, Brad?
What do you feel about how do you feel about this Peacemaker Pinot?
Let me take
Noir.
another drink. Hold on here.
All right,
Ooh,
he's going in.
He's
swishing.
an aficionado.
He is aficionado. Here, hold that pose real quick. I need to get a picture of
That's
that.
good content right there.
That's really good.
We're all about the content,
Yeah. Expect some DMs from the ladies
God,
later.
Here we go.
That's right. Slide to the DMs. And hey, drink however you'd like. The thing is, you hold from the stem, right? They say you're supposed to hold from the stem. Do you know why?
No.
Take a guess.
It's got to be something dirty.
So you don't warm it up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of them. You warm it up. You warm up the wine. It changes the whole flavor. Heat is the enemy of wine.
Yes.
So yeah, you hold that glass and it warms it up. But that's why you just drink it faster, right?
Yeah.
Get it out.
Yeah.
Get it down the hatch. But then also it dirties the glass, and you got your fingerprints, and who knows where your hands have been today. And
This is good. Like, I know. Hey, you guys are fancy with the wine stuff, and I obviously not so much. But I do like wine. What I like about this wine is it's more up my alley, and I told you. You already know. That's probably why you brought it, because I like red wine. It's dry. That's one thing I really like about certain types of wines, because I don't like the sweet ones.
yeah, what tasty notes do you get
For this one, for me,
other than dry?
dry, and I get a bit of almost like a cherry wood flavor.
Nice.
Definitely can taste some barrels going on here.
It was aged in a barrel.
Yeah, so I do. Yeah, there you go. See, I do it very similar to a barrel aged stout, which is funny because it's red, right? So you're thinking, oh, it's going to be really fruity. No, it's not at all, actually. There's a very subtle grapeness to it, but I think that's all in your mind. To be honest, whenever I taste wine, I'm like, you just know that that's what it's made from. Kind of the same thing with, I'm sure you are familiar with mead, right? Honey wine. Yep. I don't care what flavor you tell me it is. I still always taste honey, but I think that's because it's in the back of my mind that it's made with honey, because there's some amazing things that they do to mead that, like, flavor-wise, you're like, tastes like a pina colada and shit like that. But,
Super strong, too.
Yeah.
Have you had the honey hips from Latitude 33?
no. Good stuff.
So it's not mead, but you reminded me with the honey.
Yeah.
Honey hips from Latitude 33, amazing. And I'm not a huge blonde, and it's technically a blonde, but it's like 8%, and it tastes like just straight honey and beer. It's amazing, really, really good.
I like it. Honey and beer.
Yeah. But yeah, mead's interesting. It does have honey in it, and our wine does have grapes in it, believe it or not.
I figured that out.
You know? Yeah. You're basically a level 1 som.
There it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll switch to wine. Who knows? You never know.
You should.
Yeah, you know.
Not likely. I've invested too much into the beer game.
Yeah.
I think there's less calories.
True.
There can be, but that's why I drink a lot of light beer,
It's true.
which we don't have today, by the way. Got some
What kind of beers do we have here today?
heavy hitters. Well, one I picked because we were having wine, which is the Tiki Punch. It's a kettle sour, so fermented with. So for those that don't know the difference between a kettle sour and a wild fermented sour, this is a sour that's like man-made, made for more production because it's made faster. So every company kind of does it different, but a lot of them will use like occult or yogurt or some sort during the brewing process to sour the beer. And a lot of times the sour beers, they'll use a lot of fruit adjuncts. And in this particular case, it's supposed to mimic a tiki punch. So should be good. It's from Wild Barrel Brewing, San Diego original here, San Marcos, California to be exact.
And you know what? I drive by Wild Barrel all the time
There you
on
go.
78, and they have the thin blue line flag, thin red line flag flying, and they always have.
They are on the Hop Highway. For those that don't know what that is,
Yes.
it's the 78 freeway. There's a lot of breweries up off the 78.
San Marcos is kind of dying out a little bit, unfortunately. Have you ever driven down Restaurant Row lately?
Yeah, a
they're
lot
all,
of those
they're all
businesses
gone,
have
man.
gone out of town.
Unfortunately,
I'm
yeah.
like,
So
that's
it's good to
weird.
see Wild Barrel still thriving, and they've always supported first responders, which we're all about.
Good old Wild Bill
Yes,
down at Wild Barrel. Great
And
dude.
is that axe throwing place still
There is an axe throwing place
Did it survive COVID?
in the one in Temecula. Yeah. I don't know about the San Marcos. I know there's a bat cage, but I don't know about the axe throwing.
A bat cave?
Bat cage.
I was
hitting-
hoping for a bat
yeah.
cave. No.
I'm the Batman. I'm Batman. I fight crime in a rubber suit.
You have a bat in your cave.
It really seals in the flavor. I love that.
I'm Goose.
You're Goose.
We just transition movies real quick. I don't know.
Talk to me, Goose.
When I run out of lines, I just go to the next movie and
So back to the beer.
Hope we change subjects. Yeah,
So
exactly. Thank you.
So we had a red wine, and then we also have a tiki punch that we're going to try. And then because Anthony says he doesn't like hazy IPAs, we're going to have a hazy IPA. I thought I'd throw that in there, but the reason why I threw it in there is because this is from Electric Brewing, one of the most famous hazy IPA manufacturers here in California, throughout the country, very popular on the secondary trade game, as everybody talks about.
Marietta.
But this is, I believe, a triple hazy IPA, if I'm not mistaken, if not a double.
10%, baby.
But it's really good. And what they do with this beer is it's amazing. You guys are going to see it when it pours. You're going to be like, wow, look at that color. Like, it just, everything about it, everything about Electric. We talk about Electric all the time. Have yet to done a show with Electric, so I'm sure they'll listen to this. One day, Justin, the head brewer there and owner, if he wants to do a show, he can get a hold of me.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it is a great name. And then the other beverage that I brought here, I got to look at it because I can't remember the exact kind. I know that it's a barrel-aged stout. Yes, so this is a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout with maple syrup and coconut. And it is a collab beer. I'm really excited about this.
That sounds like breakfast in a can.
It
I would
is.
drink that for breakfast. I would.
So this is a collab. The originating brewery is Eagle Park Brewing, which is in Wisconsin. And everything that I've ever had, Muskogee, Muskogee, I don't know, something like that, Wisconsin. Every time I've had beer from them, it's been phenomenal. They're really good with their stouts, and they're really good with traditional beers, sour, stuff like that. And then collab with Horace, which is a San Diego-based brewery, or some people like to call Kyle the Gypsy Brewer. But Horace Aged Ale's very famous on the stout game. That's all he makes. And amazing barrel-aged stouts. Like, the man's a genius. So him working together with Eagle Park, I'm pretty excited about trying this. And, I mean, who's not going to like a bourbon barrel-aged beer that's got maple syrup and coconut?
Honestly, it sounds like breakfast. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning, and I'd like to have one of those tomorrow morning for breakfast, just in case you have any extras in your room.
There you go.
Go ahead and reserve that now. Put that on Thin Brand
Breakfast.
Wine's top.
Breakfast beer.
And they're starting to do that with wine now, too. Have you guys seen the bourbon barrel-aged wines?
Yes.
Red wines? Yeah, really good. Has a little extra bite on the back end.
And, in the beer industry, we also will barrel age in wine barrels, something that's new. And actually, we talked about it, and it's funny that you have this Pinot Noir. Right? I say that right because Joshua Kunkel, love you, buddy. There was an episode that we did that was a Russian River episode, and we had a beer that was aged in a Pinot Noir barrel, and it was really good. I can't remember the exact flavor components and what kind of adjuncts that they used on it, but if you've never had Russian River Brewing, everything that they do is top notch. This is the creators of Pliny the Elder, Blind Pig, Pliny the Younger, which is a big cult following when they line up all day for that stuff. And so the brewers there, Vinny, to be specific, he's just meticulous. He's like a mad scientist. He's very scientific about the process of brewing. And he does have a lot of background in the wine industry as well. In fact, Russian River was started from a wine company. But yeah, just talented brewers there. And so I saw the name of the type of the wine we were having. It reminded me of that episode where Josh was doing, I had porn music playing in the back and he was reading the ingredients and flavor components of that beer. And I just remember how he said Pinot Noir.
Voice of an angel.
It's just so funny. But yeah, no, this is a great wine. So for those of you that jumping in, the Peacemaker, check it out on Thin Vine Wines. You won't be disappointed. For those of you that like a nice dry red wine.
When is this airing?
Soon, probably in the next couple days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a Cal Nina promo going on right now.
Cal Nina promo. Tell us about the Cal Nina promo for our first responder friends.
Yeah, well, the Cal Nina promo is you just jump on the website right now, thinvine.wine. You order any 2 bottles, you get $10 off. So 5 off wine, 5 off shipping. And that ends on Wednesday. All right, I'll try to get it up. So if this airs on Thursday, you're fucked.
I'll try to get it up. Maybe you could do like an extension and just add BeerDad and Brewed there on there.
You want some more, bro?
Yes, I would love some.
Yeah. What do you want to? Should we switch to the red blend?
Let's do the red.
All right.
So the next wine that I'm so used to beer. The next wine that John's going to pour for us here is a thin red wine.
Thin red wine dedicated to fire.
Shout out to our firefighter friends. There's a lot of them. Got a lot of listeners that are in fire. And I know that we used to argue on Cena Medical Aids. Yes, the Beer Dad used to work on an ambulance.
Give that a little swirl.
But
Drink it or dump it out.
we're going to do this. This is for the firefighters.
Yeah, take it like a shot, bro. We'll give you a little splash. Just swirl that around.
Okay.
Either dump it out or drink it. But I know you're going to drink it. Well, you ain't no quitter.
Of course I'm going to drink her. Mama didn't raise no quitters.
He's got a real aggressive swirl.
He's pretty good at it.
I'm pretty aggressive at everything, actually.
First he puts the tip in, and then he does a really aggressive swirl. Little sniff test. We're talking about wine, you sick freaks. Don't go there.
Give that a try. That's one of my favorites, actually. That's like a good day drinking red wine right there. So
Just by that little splash is...
Good barbecue red wine right there. Grill.
It definitely hits the color notes of what I'm used to seeing in a traditional red wine.
I think I already said it, but I apologize. 70% cab soft, 20% old vines in, 10% for raw. Real nice, approachable, mellow red blend.
I love it.
Good for day drinking, or night drinking,
Or any kind of drinking, right?
Or
any of them.
You just worked a graveyard shift. You come home at 6 a.m. and you want a little something, help you go to sleep. You know, when the dogs are barking and the gardener's out front, and you just went to bed because you just worked a graveyard shift. Take a little splash of thin red vine up in your life.
I like that. That should be a commercial because I don't think you would ever hear a wine company have a commercial like that.
Probably never sell any more wine either.
You'd be surprised. There's some strange folks out there.
I need to rethink my marketing approach.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, I think your marketing approach is absolutely fabulous because you're going after a targeted audience, but it doesn't have to be somebody that is a first responder to buy this because there's people that support first responders. There's spouses of first responders.
Yep.
Friends and family of first responders, and just wine aficionados in general that have a heart for first responders. So I think it's great. I think it's cool what you're doing.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, and we've had a pretty good. We've been pretty well received, even with retailers. You know, with everything going on, they love our mission. They love what we're about, our labels, and what we support. And yeah, so we've been backed by a lot. We get our trolls here and there, but hey, if you don't have trolls, you're not doing it right.
Right.
So, anyways, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Can we
Let's
cheers?
do that. Let's do a cheers.
I'll hold the mic up. Ooh, that sounded good.
The clank clank. Wait, I gotta take a drink.
Yeah, we could sell that.
So this for me is it's funny because similar-ish style wines for me. I mean, I know there's big differences here, but if you asked me to pick like what I prefer, I would go with the Peacemaker
Over the two wines?
just for my palate.
What kind of notes do you get with this one?
This one's much sweeter for me, but not sweet like probably what the Dispatch wine would be like.
Right. It's not sweet. It's just sweeter than the Peacemaker.
Yes.
More fruity.
More fruity notes. I think on this one I get kind of like almost like a cherry, almost like a cherry wine.
Very nice.
But not the cherries that are the fake cherries. I'm talking like real cherry, like you bite them, you got to spit the seed out kind of thing.
You got to pull the stem out.
Not the shit they put in a Shirley Temple. That's fake cherries. Although I heard they're real cherries. They're just like bleached or something. I don't know. But this both wines are very good, and this for red wine for red wine aficionados. You'll definitely like it, America. And
Marca.
I thought he's like, what is happening right now? But awesome, and shout out to all the firefighters out there living the dream. As a law enforcement joke, enjoying their lazy boys and their naps and their spaghetti dinners. I know you guys fight fires. But shout out to you guys that are available 365, saving kittens and trees. And I joke.
Dude, no, it was in my head, but I was like, I can't say that. I'll get canceled.
The funny thing is working in dispatch, every time I hear a call that it's like my kitten's stuck in like the manifold, or I will transfer it to the fire department so fast.
Do you guys remember the drop line? Did you have the drop line when you first started?
It was just going away because we had that old Vesta and it had the little skull and crossbones. Yeah, no,
guess
I know
you made it go away.
Yeah, you're famous for that.
Yeah, when you're responsible for multiple briefing items and like new policies, you're doing something right. You're doing the Lord's work.
We'll talk. I don't talk about work too much around here. People that know me personally know that I've been a first responder for a while. Either behind the house in dispatch or in the field in EMS. But working with you was always a blast, and I told this story. I think I told Anthony today. I'll never forget the time.
Oh God,
you played. We had this frequent caller that called all the time. I think his name was a San Diego Eagle. Calls all the time, and he's like the monsters and the aliens and all this crazy shenanigans. Totally and freaking one night you were just in your typical mood, and when we got the new feature on the Vesta to play back calls to callers, you played back himself on his crazy call, talking to himself.
Oh, yeah. There's something about a crazy person talking to themselves being crazy, dude, that is just super entertaining.
It was the greatest. And then John's like, you got to hear this. You got to listen to this. He plays it for me, and I swear to God, the guy was talking to himself.
He's arguing with himself. Yeah, he's straight up having a verbal battle with himself, and his own voices in his head.
Oh God, that was great. That was great.
Thank you for recognizing my work.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Very solid.
Nobody else did.
But you know what? You now are running the Thin Vine Wines.
Yes, sir.
Doing very, very well at it. So
thank you, man. Yeah, but no, I do. I have a lot of fun memories of that wonderful place over there
that we used to call home.
Yeah, it rhymes with. Never mind.
Yeah, we won't say, because we won't say where it's at, what we did, just that we did it.
But yeah, right? so the drop line. I mean, I think this might be entertaining for people even who aren't in that realm. I don't know, cut me off or edit this or. Drop line me. I don't know. So the drop line, you could call 911 and be like, "Hey, my cat's stuck in a tree," which that shit would happen.
Yeah, all the time.
And there was a dude. I remember his name rhymed with Alex Vo.
Okay.
Probably should have said his last name. You probably have to edit that out. That's all right. But I remember he was still in training. And he's like, John. I'm like, I'm knee deep in 911 calls. Yeah. He goes, this person's cat is stuck in a tree. I'm like, drop line that motherfucker. He's like, he was shocked. I think everything shocked him. But
Drop line.
yeah, so the drop line, you hit the drop line button, and it would tell them,
Thank you for calling 911. This phone call has been deemed a non-emergency.
Yep.
If you have an emergency in the future, please call us back at 911. If not, here are the following non-emergency phone
give
numbers.
them our public number, and then they would just call back on our public number and have to fucking talk to them anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, God
Cats in the
damn it.
tree.
Well, anyways, yeah, edit that part
great.
out about you know who.
DeVoe.
At least
see if I
edit
remember.
his last name.
Okay.
I don't know.
Eh,
Does
he's
he watch
fine.
your podcast?
I don't
Listen?
know. I guess we'll find out.
Do people
I won't
watch
edit
or listen to your podcast?
Mostly listen. I don't put up a whole lot of videos, mostly marketing videos. And that'll
Where
be
can
part
people
of this.
download your podcast?
This podcast is available everywhere for those listening that already know. You can find it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, random pod chasers and these weird other pod companies, but Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, which is my favorite because you can listen to it on the television or in the vehicle, and you can download an episode and then like listen to it on an airplane with no internet reception, which is great.
That is cool.
But we so far shout out to Apple because Apple's our number one platform.
That's
we
huge.
still get. I mean, we're still hitting up a lot of listeners, but it seems like, and no offense to the Android people of the world, but it seems like Apple's the dominant force in podcasting.
Am I the only one who, when you text them, so I would think we're all iPhone users here. Am I the only one where you text somebody for the first time and it's a green text? You're like,
Milton,
ugh. I know Milton's a good
he
dude.
won't switch, dude.
But
He
like
won't.
when you see that green text and you're like, oh, they don't have an iPhone, I lose a little bit of respect for. Actually, I lose a lot of respect for them. Right?
You do.
Am I the
Yeah.
only one?
You do. No,
You
it's the
do,
same.
you do too.
No, and
Anthony.
then
Oh, 100%.
How do you feel about Android users?
It's a dumb phone.
What's the problem? Why are they?
Here's my
the way
problem
that they are?
with Android users, and I used to be one. It took
Everything.
a lot. It took an act of Congress to get me to switch to iPhone. So I had the very first iPhone when it came out with AT&T. Had it for 2 days, took it back. It sucked. It really did. It sucked. You had to pay for every fucking app. You couldn't personalize shit on there. I hated all the rainbow stuff. I was not an Apple person. And at the time, I had a. I was just switching from the chocolate. If you guys remember that,
Ooh,
it was like
I used to have one.
It was like an iPhone. It was like
I forgot about
an
that.
iPod that switched up and had the
It's
so,
basically an iPod.
yeah. So I had that.
A
And then
brown iPod.
right. I switched it to. That sounds so bad. I switched it to the Galaxy Nexus, which was the first Android that was unlocked with no carrier stuff on it. So it was completely unlocked. You could customize it. That thing was a bitchin' phone. But the minute they changed it to the Samsung Galaxy, it went downhill because then I got the S5, I think, at the time, and it was bullshit. They changed everything. You couldn't customize anything. I had glitch after glitch. I went through 3 phones. I had to keep taking them back. They were like lemon-lawed. And so then I was like, all right. And then heavy pushing about the iPhone from everybody, all my friends, people that I worked with, my partner at AMR.
Yep.
And so finally I pulled the trigger and I got
go
the
back. You'll love it.
6S Plus was my first real iPhone because the other one I didn't have more than 2 days. And I fell in love. That phone, like, I never had problems. I never had glitches. I never had viruses. It did everything I wanted to do. I didn't have to pay for apps. And ever since then, I've been an iPhone person. But yeah, when you get a text message feed and you're in a group chat and that one motherfucker's got that
one. It's that one, right?
The one.
It could be 19 people
one.
in that group chat, and 18 of them have an iPhone, and that one fucker has an Android from 2014.
Reminds me of
You're
that
just like,
that
ooh,
meme
so
lady
much-
that they play
I
in
judge
the videos.
you. I
like,
definitely judge you.
hide your
whenever you
wallet,
text.
kids. There's poor people around. Like, that's what you think of when you see that. No offense to the Android users, but yeah,
I've
you
seen
guys
that
need to
too.
step up your game.
Yeah, I've seen that on IG, on Instagram, where girls will post it too. So dudes, like, step up your game, because I've seen where girls post a screenshot of some guy texting them, and it's the green, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I don't fuck with poor people. I don't date, or I don't date poor dudes.
I'm not
like,
about that.
"Oh."
I'm not about that life.
Man, if they're that passionate about it to put it on their IG story, damn, bro.
That's fucking great.
Anyways,
All right,
Anyways.
back to the drinking at hand. So we've had 2
Yes,
great
sir.
wines from Thin Vine Wines.
Thank you.
We'll go back to your company before we snap some beers here. Thin Vine Wines, you can access on Instagram. You guys have a website, thinvinewines.com, right? Is that the full website?
I think we I'm pretty sure we own that domain. It'll forward you to the correct domain, which is thinvine.wine.
Thinvine.wine.
But yeah, you were close. You were close. I think it'll still take you there.
Okay.
Yeah. At Thinvine Wines on all social media. Thinvine.wine is our actual website where you can order this vino to your home.
Order wine, have it delivered fresh to your doorstep.
Yes, sir.
Or if you are in the San Diego area, Escondido, which is North County, San Diego, there is a spot that they can go to pick up in person, correct?
Yeah, thank you so much. And this is still new to us, so sometimes I forget. But yeah, you can definitely pick up your wine directly from us in Escondido for free. You don't have to pay for shipping.
Bang.
Yeah, so when you order wine, you have an option to hit pick up order, and you just you select a date and time, and we'll be there with your wine ready to go. And maybe you'll get some extra free goodies in the process. Who knows?
I love it.
We'll see.
So check them out. Get some orders in. Support different causes. You got thin red wines representing the firefighters.
That's good stuff.
You got the thin yellow line, right? What is that one called?
I think it's thin gold. I mean, you
gold.
should know, right?
Yeah, there you go. Thin gold line. Sorry, I apologize.
It's kind of your thing, isn't it?
Lord, I apologize.
Yeah.
This is my thing.
Well, right. Well, I mean, you're kind of involved in it.
But shout out to the first responder dispatchers all over the country.
Everyone
Calnina.
forgets. Calnina.
That's
Everyone
where we're at right
forgets
now.
dispatch. We all know who handles business when that first call comes in. They're the guardians of the galaxy, man. Sometimes I call dispatch and I'm like, I'm trying to get something, and they're like, nah. Like, they won't even let me get an answer from the officer because they're the freaking guardians of the bouncers, man. But I get it. They're handling business. They're making the officers' jobs easier. They're trying to keep the officers safe.
Yeah.
They're the lifeline.
That is the goal every day when you go to work as a dispatcher, is that all officers go home, as well as all the citizens you have interactions with go home as well.
Yep. And they don't, you don't get a lot of the outcomes in dispatch. That always kind of bothered me. The officers are out there in the field handling business hands-on. Yes, absolutely. And we appreciate you and acknowledge you and respect you as well. But yeah, dispatch, you take that call or you dispatch that call. Officers go 97, 98, and that's it. They're on to the next thing, and you're just kind of sitting there like, well, what the hell happened? And
you have no clue.
Yeah. So much love to you guys. We see you. We appreciate you, and we drink for you.
We drink for you.
Yeah.
And we also do what your company started with, repping the Thin Blue line. Law enforcement officers throughout the country, throughout the world.
Yes.
It's definitely a trying time to be a police officer, and I know, some of our listeners, it does. I applaud you for whatever your beliefs are. If you're anti-law enforcement, you have that absolute 100% right to be anti-law enforcement. But for the law enforcement officers that I personally know, I can tell you these are good people, and they signed up for a job because they wanted to help people. And it's a really hard time right now for those good officers out there that they go to work every single day. Some of them for really horrible pay. By the way, Hollister Police Department, you guys suck. $14 an hour to be a police officer. You should be ashamed of yourself.
No shit. I didn't know that.
So some of these guys are doing these jobs for $14 an hour, and they're putting their lives on the line. Every traffic stop is dangerous. I know in the media and everything that's been going on, it looks bad. But I can tell you that the good majority of law enforcement officers out there are not out to just, hurt people.
Jam you up. And no one hates a bad cop more than a good cop.
That's right.
Right.
And that's what's really good that's happening right now is a lot of officers are starting to police their own and trying to get rid of those bad cops. I mean, there's bad people in every industry, but definitely shout out to the hardworking men and women behind the Thin Blue line. And
absolutely.
Come check out Thin Vine Wines because they do make a wine just for you guys, for anybody really. But and a portion of the proceeds of the sales of those go to a charity. Do you know offhand which charity for Thin Blue?
Thank you. And you just reminded me of it too. I don't think I mentioned it yet. So $2 from every bottle goes back to a nonprofit related to that label. So law enforcement, fire, military, veterans, dispatch, EMS, breast cancer survivors, in honor of my aunt. She's a survivor. So we donate $2 back from every bottle to a nonprofit related to that label. That's awesome. So when we first started, we were picking one charity.
Yeah.
So we started with Cops Concerns of Police Survivors. I just remember they came to the academy when I was there, and it always stuck with me, and I always donated a portion of my check to them. So I started with them, but then I was like, you know what? Why are we committing the whole year to this one organization? So we're like, hey, let's spread it around a little bit. So quarterly, we pick a different nonprofit. Nice. So Concerns of Police Survivors, Humanizing the Badge. It just ranges. So we always try to find different ones that just, and there's so many worthy causes out there. It's kind of hard to pick sometimes, but there's a lot out there that need help and that do a lot of good for first responders. So yeah, if you guys know of any worthy nonprofits that help first responders and support them, hit us up, slide into the DMs.
Got it. So there you are, listeners. If you guys know anybody that does a nonprofit that helps out first responder families, definitely go check out Thin Vine Wines and talk to them and see if you can get on that program. But really appreciate you bringing your wine here. I mean, this is cool. It's first time. First time? Yeah, not my first time. No, it's first time.
First time with our wine. Yeah, you haven't tried our wine yet. Yeah,
first time having. No, it's not my first time having your wine because somehow I got a hold of a bottle. No, I got a hold of a bottle of the dispatcher wine. But maybe
the sweet peach
from
sweet
Amy.
Peach
maybe I don't remember. I just remember trying it. I just remember trying it somewhere.
Well, that's cool. I like hearing that. I always like hearing that. Yeah, a lot of people came up today too, like, "Oh, hey, we follow you on Instagram." Like, that's awesome. I love it. I love hearing that.
It was so funny. We were walking into the vendor hall, and we turned the corner, and I was like,
I saw you guys right away. I saw you guys. So you come to go around the corner. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, but I had to stay composed and
had no idea you were going to be
talk
here.
To the other people.
Yeah, but it was awesome that you're here. And so thank you for sharing your wines, your company.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Cheers to your future.
Cheers to your future.
Yeah. Future looks bright, and I think that there's only one place you can go with Thin Vine Wines, and that is up. So what do you think, Anthony? What do you think of the wine?
I think that it was good.
No complaints?
No complaints.
None. I like it. He's a man of very few words.
I'm not I love wine.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a connoisseur.
Yeah.
So I know what I like. I couldn't tell you why I like it, but I like it.
That's good. That's good. You know what you like.
Yeah, it's very similar to me. Like when it comes to wine, like what we had here, money. If it was like what my wife likes, she likes that sparkling sweet stuff, the Moscato.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
I
draw the line.
Sweet peach,
yeah, I draw the line.
Our sweet peach is basically picture Moscato with peach added.
Oh, she would like that.
And then we have a bubbly version of it.
Yeah, she would like that.
It's like breakfast though.
Yeah,
so good.
I can't do it. And she tries to get me into it. Like she's really, really big fan of
You got to have it in the morning though.
What's that champagne place? Wilson Creek. She likes their like almond champagne and their watermelon champagne.
Dude, they get their grapes from where we get our grapes, Lodi.
There you go.
Well, they're sparkling ones.
Yeah,
their regular wine grapes are from Temecula or whatever, but the Lodi grapes they're sparkling.
Nice.
Yeah. So we have our peach and our sparkling rosé as well, which is like day drinking. All this, you need to try it again, like first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Or right after a graveyard shift. Yeah.
That may be in my future here pretty soon. I'm not looking forward to it.
Remember that one time
at band camp?
Remember that one time we were carpooling and you came, we went and got breakfast burritos and a beer, and we went back to my house in Hidden Meadows.
We did do that. I remember.
We watched Tosh.0.
I do remember that.
And then drink a beer and ate breakfast burritos.
That was good.
That was a good time. That was a good memory.
Yeah, I remember. I remember your giant Great Dane dog thing.
Loki,
like really like Sweet just angel. Staring at my burrito like. Oh man, he wanted that thing so bad.
You met Loki.
I have. Loki,
he was taller than you, Anthony.
Big black guy.
He was a big dog.
Big. It was like a horse.
We had to cut his tail off
because he kept breaking
everything.
it.
All right, guys, have a good night. No, you just can't just leave when he cut it. We had to cut his tail off. That was a joke, but you guys didn't laugh. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
poor dog.
No, but he had to have his tail cut off because he had a tumor on the base of his tail, and so now he's got a big old nub,
like a boxer, like my dog.
Yeah,
We call him the Vienna sausage tail.
Yeah. It's crazy though. He kind of looks cool with it. Yeah. Like he looks like a badass. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it. He's a great dog.
Excuse me. He's an awesome dog. I love that dog. Yeah. That's my boy. Yeah. That's my boy. And I'm sorry to hear about your boxer because I remember meeting her.
Yeah, you met Cinnamon and Rocky. I think you met both of them.
I did.
Yeah, and
but I remember was it Cinnamon that went first because she had the tumors.
tumor. Yeah. She went first. She was 15, and then Rocky was 10. He got diagnosed with lung cancer like a week after we put her down, and then he died like a couple weeks later.
Really?
Yeah.
Died of a broken heart.
That's exactly what it was.
Man.
So, but we have a new boxer named Latte. She's
Do you?
a great dog, yeah.
Latte?
Yeah, she's kind of a weird dog. Like, she's the most unboxer I've ever owned. Like, she doesn't bark at all. Like, I've heard her bark 4 times in the last 5 years, which is very uncommon for a boxer. Like, Rocky, if someone rang the doorbell, he would bark for 4 hours solid, even after they were gone. And Cinnamon was just neurotic and hyper, and she's neither of those. She just chills, relaxes, great with the kids, doesn't bark.
Nice.
She's not hyper at all. So, good dog, though. I love the breed.
Yeah. I don't think you've met Vino. Did you meet Vino?
Met Vino.
Yeah,
He was
he's
there.
part boxer.
Yeah,
He's
he
part
was there.
boxer, and he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's freaking nuts, man. Boxers are nuts.
They are.
But
They are.
so we just had to put down one of my wife's Frenchies.
Yeah.
Because she had 2 Frenchies, mother-daughter, actually. And the daughter went first.
Oh, wow.
The daughter got cancer. And the other, one of her brothers from the same litter had cancer like a few months before and had to be put down too. Her best friend had it. So, man, it's so hard. I haven't had to put down a dog as an adult.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first time having to put down a dog as an adult.
Sucks.
And that shit hurt, man.
The first time that I
was
had to do
hard.
that as an adult, and I love my mother-in-law to death, but damn it, Donna, you put us in a horrible position.
Donna.
So the family dog, Wrinkles, it was a Shar-Pei, and I had a connection with this dog. So when I met my wife and we were dating, she told me Wrinkles hates everybody, wants nothing to do with anybody but the family. My ass walked right out into the backyard, and I was the dog whisperer, and that dog loved me. So, Amber. But poor Wrinkles, obviously got older, and my brother-in-law was big into travel baseball, and so Donna and Dwayne and my brother-in-law, they went to a tournament, I believe in Arizona, and we were watching, checking on the dog. We went over there, and she must have had a stroke during the day because she could get up, but it could only stand on her front legs and drag the back legs behind her. And it was sad. That was the dog that my wife grew up with, and I'm like, okay, we're here. This sucks. Dwayne and Don are out of town. Like, what do we do? So we went to an emergency vet, and of course they come out and they give you the whole spiel. Well, you can pay $20,000, but it might not work. She had a stroke. There's really no fixing it. We don't know how long, this and that. Or we can put her down. And I told Amber, I said, I can't do that. Like, this is not even my dog, and this sucks.
Yeah.
And so we called, and of course, crying on the phone and a little back and forth, and then we ended up having to make that hard decision to put her down. And it's like, this isn't even my dog, and this is like ripping me to shreds. Like, this is terrible.
Yep.
For those that don't own animals, like, you have no idea how hard this is. A family member, and that sucks. So we put her down, and then of course we had to do it with Cinnamon as well, and that was horrible.
Yeah, it's so hard, man. They really are like a part of your family.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude.
The worst part for me is when they look at you after they get that second injection. They look at you the first time because it hurts, right? So the one like, yipe! And then that second one, you're just like, they know what it is, and they look at you like, I'm not sad, I'm just disappointed kind of thing. Like, and you're just like, oh, dude, it hurts.
Did you do the in vet, or did you have them come to your house?
In the vet. Yeah.
So I didn't even know about this until kind of recently, but apparently they'll come to your house and do it.
Yeah.
And that's what we did with Gidget, was her name. Like, coolest French bulldog ever, dude. She was so sweet, so smart, just so chill. The best dog. We had 4 at that point because my wife had 2 Frenchies. I had the 2 boys, Vino and Loki. And then we merged households, and Gidget was the best one. And she's the one that, went down first from cancer. But yeah, they came to our house, and, it's a whole nother weird, like, eerie thing, but it's nice to send them off from the comfort of their home. Yeah. And
they
not
say
in
they actually recommend
they
recommend that for several reasons, and one of the other main reasons is for the other dogs. Because then the other dogs associate you leaving with them and them not coming back to, like, I'm never going in the car again.
Oh, Makes
because
sense,
Dad just took my
they're
loved
super
one
smart like that,
and
yeah.
never came back. There's
Yeah.
something to be said about that. So yeah, but yeah, I have heard of that.
Yeah, I recommend it. And this place was awesome.
Yeah.
Paws Above Grace, shout out.
Nice.
Paws Into Grace.
Yeah.
They were awesome from start to finish. I mean, man, it's still hard. It's going to be hard no matter what.
Right.
But, yeah, there's something about just having them go in
Mm-hmm.
the comfort of their own home. But, yeah, it is really – and my wife still just breaks down once in a while because
sucks.
she misses her dog. And
We love
I
our
only knew her
doggos.
dog for 3 years, and
Yeah.
she's had her since she was, born and a puppy. She actually was born in my condo that I owned. And I didn't even know she had more than one dog in there. I could have evicted her ass, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you married her.
I did. I married
Smart
that
move.
ass.
Smart
Oof. Oof. Weird segue. Weird segue. But you know what?
I like it.
I like
I like
it.
your style.
I like it.
It's
I
good.
like your face.
Speaking of that, let's crack a beer.
All right, let's crack a
Crack
beer.
that tiki
Which one do you want
punch.
to do first?
Let's do the tiki punch.
Tiki punch?
We'll keep it kind of similar to what we've
right.
been having right now.
I accidentally poured wine in my beer glass, but you know what? That's my problem. It sounds like a John
You'll
problem.
figure it out. Oh,
Oh, that was a
sound
pop.
creeps.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, we won't sell that to
That
weird,
reminds you of
weird
college?
people on the internet. I gotta put the mic down.
All right, here we go. We'll help John out here. So he's currently pouring some tiki punch from Wild Barrel Brewing, San Marcos, California. I like that. As he pours this beer, Anthony was taking a look at that. Anthony, what are you looking at here? What do you see?
I see that it looks a lot like wine almost.
Yes.
It's like a pinkish color.
It's like you blend this.
Maybe.
I
might
think you
have.
did.
Well, I figured you showed me what wines we were having, so I wanted to grab this to kind of, segue nicely into the beer world. So kettle sour, tiki
Cheers,
punch.
fellas. Cheers.
Cheers.
Got some ASMR up in here, dog.
So, Anthony, I know you have said that not the biggest fan of sours. Maybe you've never had a kettle sour before, but what do you think of this?
I've never had a kettle sour, and I can say this one's actually not bad.
Nice.
I don't think I could drink a lot of it, though.
Yeah, and this is an imperial cocktail sour that they did, and when I say imperial, that's just a fancy word we like to throw around in the beer industry, as it's going to F you up because it's higher alcohol volume. They make across the board all their sours. Some of them sours are a little more easier drinking as far as the ABV, but this one is a little bit stronger, but it's really not that bad. This is
No,
like fruit
not at all.
punch.
Yeah, it
That's
literally
really good.
tastes like fruit punch.
Yeah, dangerous. So we talked a little bit about Wild Barrel before, and I mentioned the flags and all that out front. And then tasting this, I'm like, oh yeah, Wild Barrel has all the really good sours. Because I'm not a huge sour drinker either, but man, they make some solid sours. Like this is awesome for a summer day, like out by the pool or just hanging out barbecuing. Oh,
They're
Money.
legit, and we've featured Wild Barrel Brewing on the show before, and actually some of their non-traditional, and I don't like to say the word non-traditional because they make traditional beers. One of my favorite beers that they make there is the old Crispy Boys. It's a nice little Pilsner, nice and crisp, really good, clean. But don't forget you have a headset on. They also make a hazy IPA for every season. So on our St. Patrick's Day episode, we featured hazy IPA from Wild Barrel Brewing. That's amazing. St. Patty's on the juice. Anthony just got caught. Nobody knew what was going on over here.
They had no idea.
So this is what they're very famous for is their sours. So a lot of their sours that they make are all kinds of different crazy flavors. And one of my favorite ones that I ever had is a flashback, and we'll go into commercial mode because the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast is sponsored by the Craft Lounge, Beaumont, California, just north of the 10 freeway. Jimmy, how you doing, buddy? He carries Wild Barrel Brewing, and he had one. He actually called it Hulk Piss. That wasn't actually the name of it, but it was a key lime pie pastry sour that they made, and it poured bright green. And it was so good. If you don't like key lime pie, you probably wouldn't like it. But if you like key lime pie, which is actually my favorite pie, it was delicious.
Like Hulk piss.
He called it Hulk Piss because it poured out like bright. You pour it in the glass, and you're like, "What the?"
Sounds
hell?
intriguing. Sounds
Yeah,
intriguing.
but it was delicious. But yeah, Wild Barrel Brewing, San Marcos, California. There's also a satellite tap room in Temecula, California, which is closer to the Beer Dad. So I frequent that spot a lot. Some great beer tenders in there. Manager's dope as hell. So go check out Wild Barrel Brewing. So I'm glad you guys like it.
Wild Barrel. Cheers. Thank you for representing first responders or supporting them.
Makes you pucker.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's what she said.
That's right. Almost like a Jolly Rancher kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
Anthony nailed it. It's like a fruit punch. Tastes like a fruit punch.
It reminds me of the
Was it Hawaiian punch? Remember that?
Well, they had a Hawaiian punch, but it reminds me of. You guys remember the tiki punch from Shasta?
No.
So their fruit punch it was sparkling, so it was more of a soda than like a juice. Like Hawaiian punch was like straight juice, but Shasta made a sparkling like Hawaiian punch. It's called tiki punch. Came in the big 3-liter bottles for like 99 cents. I don't know if you guys remember those. I'm old. You're old. You're old as me.
No, but I think we're all 90s kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but we were never afforded that.
Oh.
Yeah, I got the powder stuff.
We had Tang, bro.
Yeah, Tang.
We had
Kool-Aid?
Tang. What was that other one? There was Tang, but there was something that was a powder. What was that
Bang?
other one? Was it Bang?
No, I don't.
Cocaine?
Tang. I just remember Tang. That's like the only one. I remember Tang and I remember Kool-Aid. I don't remember anything else.
We had like the Sam's Club version, you know? Like the Walmart brand.
What about those like drinks? You remember that? The grape drank and the blue
Drank.
drank and the green drank. I wonder what that was.
I've
made
heard
out
about
of.
purple drank. I listen to a lot of rap.
That's a real thing.
They
They
talk
had
about
purple.
purple drink.
I mean, it wasn't drank; it was drink, but it would say literally on the label "purple drink."
Young Money.
Yeah, they would have that at Food for Less. For those of you in Southern California that know about that. But yeah, it was just like straight like sugary fruit juice with no real fruit in it.
Right.
But this is good stuff. So shout out to Wild.
It
Barrel.
is good. Yeah. That's really good. Dangerous.
Very.
Dangerous.
All right, Anthony. Why don't you pop the other can? Let's do the hazy IPA. Get that out of the way for you.
Is that this
Yes.
one?
Crack it open, bruh.
That was a good one.
ASMR on there.
He's getting
bruh.
good at it. He may have a future in
Yeah,
podcasting. Yeah. So when you pour this, you're going to see just the color. Oh, you hear that? Sound creeps?
That's the beer pouring, not Anthony peeing, y'all perverts.
I mean, I do have to.
Bunch of perverts. Preverts.
Uh-huh. So he's going to go ahead and pour it up here. John's going to have to down that.
I mean, if you're twisting my arm.
Look at that color. So for those folks that have been paying attention to the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast, currently right now we are doing a special,
Thank you.
I don't know what you want to call it, theme, but we have adopted the East Coast Hazy versus West Coast IPA challenge. We've got merch, so go to the BeerDad and Brewed socials and get to our link. We have merchandise. We have a t-shirt, BeerDad and Brewed Podcast version of the East Coast Hazy versus West Coast IPA kind of battle rap theme t-shirts. And we're also going to have some glassware here pretty soon that we're going to be selling. And we're going to have a special night soon. It may or may not be in the city of Anaheim, California, and we'll have more details on that. But we're going to have a special release night for the glassware, as well as we're going to be doing East Coast versus West Coast rap trivia. Yes, the Beer Dad himself is going to be running a trivia game there at a particular brewery. And that's going to be wild. I've never done that before, so we'll see how that goes.
I think I could win that.
There's a lot of us that grew up with that shit, so I think it's going to be pretty popular.
I don't know where I got the gene from, but I'm a hip hop head, bro.
There you go. Me too. I was.
I'll straight battle you right now, bro.
Let's go.
I won't do well, but I know.
Yo. That's all I got. There once was a man from Nantucket. I can't finish that line because if I did, I'd probably get shut down.
Fuck it.
But
Man.
but so East Coast Hazy, which is what we're about to have. So when we say East
Salute.
Coast Hazy, and this is actually brewed by a California brewery, Electric Brewing, Murrieta, California, Murtown. But this is a style that was started on the East Coast. So when you go to the East Coast and you order an IPA,
Oh, this is the triple. Oh,
If you order an IPA on the East Coast, when you go on the East Coast, you're going to get this.
Hazies.
You're going to get a hazy because that's the New England style IPA, and that's what they make.
but in a triple or no? It's going to be more
all
like,
of it. It's going to be like this. It's going to be
Is
hazy.
it exactly like that?
Yeah, so this is a triple IPA, I believe. But when you go back east and you order IPA, double IPA, triple IPA, it's going to have a very kind of creamy yellow hue to it, like we're looking at right here. As Jose, one of our former guests and great friend of mine, would point out, it looks like somebody that has a really bad urinary tract infection.
He would know.
But essentially what it is, it's more of like on the unfiltered level, right? Because we're used to West Coast IPAs that are nice and crisp and clear, and this looks like you can't even see through it. I can't see Anthony, right? So it's a
Gotta go to the
thicker,
urologist, dog.
That's right. It's a thicker viscosity, what they like to call a pillowy mouthfeel. Ooh, there's some I don't want to say Courvoisier, but there's some interesting words there for you. Pillowy mouthfeel when it comes to hazy IPA. That was. But good stuff anyways. So what do you think? What do you got there?
It's also dangerous because it doesn't taste like a triple IPA at all. It just, I mean, it's very good, but it tastes like a, your standard like hazy IPA. It doesn't taste like a triple. It doesn't taste extra strong to me. I could drink this all day. I mean,
it's good
until I can't drink it all day.
It's
you know what I mean?
stuff.
It's very good. And shout out to Marietta, man. I didn't know they were putting out beers like that.
Oh, you have no idea. So Murrtown's on the map right now for craft beer because Electric Brewing's there, Solaris Brewing is there, 8-Bit Brewing is there.
Wow.
Inland Wharf, we spoke of them earlier as well.
Is
Noise?
Is Marietta still there? Is Garage Brewing still in Temecula? Because they closed down the.
They are now in Marietta, and they closed the restaurant.
The pizza place.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that pizza was good. That pizza was fire.
they tried to reopen it.
I've never been there.
They tried to reopen it, and they got rid of the pizza oven. So they tried to reopen it, and
How the hell are you gonna reopen a pizza restaurant with a pizza oven, bruh?
they covered the pizza oven with merchandise. Yeah, so we did a show there.
COVID.
We did a show there.
COVID.
We did a show there with their revamp, and the food was still good. They had like fried chicken sandwiches and like buffalo wings and stuff like that. It was really tasty, but
good.
we were like old school. We liked that pizza that they had there. It was really good. But they moved, so their main production facility in Marietta, they have a tap room there now. So they haven't done anything with the other place yet. I don't know if they're going to.
So allegedly, when I was at the scales, allegedly, we'd go down to the garage, and grab a growler and a pizza, and we'd allegedly go back to the scales, and
allegedly
we'd eat the pizza. We wouldn't touch the growler.
I like your
just
thinking.
Put in the fridge until we got home, like a responsible adult.
Picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, man. So garage was cool, man. Garage was always good, but I still see the cans in some stores.
Yeah.
In fact, where was I yesterday?
Costco.
Or today?
Were you in Costco? Because I just put up a post about Costco. They got
Costco's got some good beers.
their
They have
mango
good
hef.
wine too.
The
they have the
mango
Well, they have
hef.
their IPA and then they have the s'mores one
Oh, that's a good one too.
or campfire stout. Campfire stout.
It's a marshmallow milk stout. Marshmallow milk stout.
Splitting hairs here,
Yeah.
bruh. Where was I yesterday? And they had garage. We went to Escondido at Tony Pepperoni. Shout out Tony Pepperoni. Good spot. Very pro first responder. They have a big giant thin blue line flag in there. Awesome. But their house IPA is from Garage.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh, Garage is still brewing beer? I had no idea because
Still around, very big, huge
That's
in
awesome.
the area.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But if you guys ever want to take a tour, highly recommended Temecula Marietta area. There's some bomb breweries in that area that you will find, and this is one of them. Electric Brewing. They're kind of tucked away in an industrial park, but literally within walking distance of them is Solaris and 8-Bit Brewing. So you can hit three right there, all within walking distance, and then a very short drive is Inland Wharf Brewing. And then if you head down south into Temecula, God, there's another 12, 13 breweries. So, you could make a couple days out of it and touch all the breweries in Temecula, Marietta.
That sounds good. I always like when they're walking distance, so you can just, park and go hit them all up. Is Ballast Point left Temecula, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're focusing on their
we
main.
don't talk about them?
No, we'll talk about them. They sold out. They sold out the Constellation, and then they sold
$1 billion.
and then they sold back to the independent craft industry with Kings and Convicts, which is I thought was great. So Kings and Convicts owns them now and has kept them independent. They closed a lot of their operations, but kept their large ones here in Miramar. They got rid of the Cutwater part of the company, they're still doing good, still making good beer. In fact, we just did a show at the Victory at Sea Day, which is something they do every year. Fun stuff. So
Cutwater's blown up too. Cutwater's here actually in the hotel.
Anthony and I partaked
allegedly
partaken
in some Cutwater bourbon last night, did we not? Remember that?
Did, yes.
Oh, like an actual bottle of it?
Yes.
Yeah. So this guy,
Oh shit!
this guy comes around and he's here for the conference, and he's like, "Anybody interested in this whiskey? Anybody got cups?"
Yes.
Anthony and I had brought beers down, and we brought some cups because we were going to share. And then they're just the plastic cups from the hotel room, and we're like, "Here, we got cups." And so he poured like damn near the whole entire.
Yeah,
cup
it wasn't like a shot. It was like a healthy pour.
It was probably more than a double pour. Yeah. So you're talking $20 worth of whiskey. You just poured right there in a cup. It was good too.
It wasn't bad.
Cutwater makes some good stuff.
Yeah,
I like
Cutwater's good. Well, they have the like the mixed cocktails here in the cans, and those are good too, right? You wouldn't think you're drinking a
Mai Tai,
a freaking or a vodka mule or
drink
a whiskey
two of
mule
those
from
and
a
you
can.
fall out of
You're
your
like,
couch.
This is good.
The vodka meal's good.
The vodka mule's good.
Yeah.
They don't have it in here though.
They
have,
but they have the whiskey lemonade, and that was the first time I had it. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even seen that one.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That's some. That's a Tennessee tea right there.
I like that. So
whiskey lemonade.
Speaking of bourbon, our last beer of the show, last drink of the show, we had wine too.
I'm having fun.
Hold on, I have to drink this
Are you having
nasty
fun?
hazy.
Let's watch like
Nasty
Anthony doesn't
hazy.
like hazy IPAs, so that's why I poured that in.
Do your listeners like hazies?
A lot of listeners like hazies. That's why this whole hazy IPA versus
God.
West Coast IPA.
Well, why are hazies trending right now? I feel like, don't get me wrong, I'll drink it all day.
You know, they're not-
but
they're-
why are they trendy?
They're not trending as much as they used to, but they're still very popular. And what I like, here's what I like about hazies, because I like them. And everybody knows, my progression in beer, because I've talked about it on the show, but I didn't used to like IPAs
Yeah, nobody did at first.
until I had a hazy IPA.
It's true.
That opened up my palate, and then also brewing and doing different things and trying so many different kinds of beers. I really appreciate hazies for that particular reason. And are they my go-to beer currently? No, not really. I like them. But, like right now, my go-to crispy boys, lagers, pilsners, dark lagers are my jam. If I can get like a Dunkelweiss or Schwarzbier or something along that line, I really enjoy being able to drink a beer that's easy drinking and light-bodied, but has so much flavor going on with it. So chocolate notes, coffee notes, but not thick like a stout or a porter. So I enjoy that. But this that we're about to partake in here.
All right, you want me to do the honors?
I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah, please do, man. You're a great beer pourer, bro.
He's really taken to this ASMR.
Oh, look at that. Look at it.
He's got the microphone set up.
Silence. Oh, God.
Oh, I got everywhere.
Did you get that?
He got it on his leg.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You sick son of a bitch.
You ain't driving anywhere tonight, that's for sure.
This is the only pair of pants I brought with me.
How you going to explain that to Peyton? I got brown juices on my leg, bruh.
Brown juices.
Are we allowed to say first names of wives and girlfriends?
Sure. Yeah, you
I
can do-
just did.
do
You can
first
edit
names.
that shit
I
out,
shout out the beer wife all the time, Amber. She
Ooh.
hates it. She don't like it.
You know what, Amber? You deal with a lot with this guy.
she does deal with a lot
You
of
do,
bullshit.
and you got
Yeah.
47 kids now.
47.
46 actually.
Bless
46.
you, bless your heart.
Yeah.
You've always been a very, very, very sweetheart.
There's one thing that the
Thank
beer dad does not know how
You're a
to
good
do.
person.
He can pull out of a driveway, but he does not know. No, I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to finish that. This is a kid's show.
Commercial.
It's a kid's show. But
and on that note,
yeah,
we
no.
are doing a commercial for North Coast Church.
That's right. And check them out, North Coast Church, San Marcos, California. Enjoy.
Right next to the Purple Church in Oceanside. Actually, they closed. All right.
There you go. All right. So
You guys know the Purple Church?
I've heard of the Purple
It's a
Church.
strip club, or it was a strip club.
Yeah.
All right,
Where were they at?
Oceanside.
Oceanside. Yeah. That's the marine place, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You hear stories
Oh, yeah.
growing up in San Diego. Yeah.
Right. Well, the Purple Church was the only like North County strip club allegedly. I've never.
Yeah.
only
And then
heard
they
of it.
didn't
Never
allow,
been-
they
never
didn't
been to
allow
one.
any
No.
to go.
Never been there.
You know, they didn't allow any more after that, from what I understand,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's creepy though. I drove by there the other day. Actually, I think I drove by there yesterday, and it's like it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still purple. But it's like caged off. It's creepy. Like I'd like to think maybe there's like ghosts of strippers in there.
The
Just
ghost
like,
of strippers passed.
just like doing their thing on the pole, you
Yeah.
know, but they're like invisible.
Now, what's
invincible?
your take?
Invisible.
I feel like
Invisible.
when it comes to a stripper, these are young ladies and gentlemen because they do have the Chippendales, right?
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. One more.
Hold that
There
thought.
it is. So, cheers, kudos to them that they're able to do that, right?
Heaven.
But-
it smells
Oh my
so
God.
good. I don't even want to drink it. It smells so good.
It smells amazing. Yeah. So
Carry on.
they're
about
just
your
doing it.
strippers.
They're just doing a job to better themselves. Not many people go into that as a profession. These dudes are having an orgasm right now. We're talking about strippers, and that's not what they're having the orgasm.
Weird
about.
timing, man.
That is
weird.
weird.
Timing.
Very weird.
I'm talking
Oh
about
my
strippers, and they're
God.
losing it over this Eagle Park stout.
This is the Marietta one?
No, this is Wisconsin.
Oh, sorry, Marietta.
But the Marietta makes some good stouts too. But
Oh my God, we need to go to Wisconsin.
yeah, Eagle Park in Muskego, Wisconsin. I hope I said that right. But they are
It's like butter,
amazing,
right? It's like butter, a little bit of chocolate,
I get chocolate and like
whiskey.
like almost a coffee taste.
Yeah, a little bit of coffee, like a subtle whiskey. Oh, dude, you just ruined my life. You ruined my wife's life. I don't know. That's so good. Like toffee, a little bit of toffee.
Yeah, maybe it's toffee. Yeah,
Oh, toffee and coffee.
same thing. I think it tastes the same.
It's so good.
This tastes like, and it could be different for you guys. Hot fudge sundae
Yes.
with
Yes.
peanuts on top
A little bit of caramel.
and some caramel drizzle.
Like
That's
a
exactly
like a McDonald's.
That's exactly
sundae.
what that tastes like. That is exactly what that tastes
Like
like.
a McDonald's sundae almost. Like the caramel McDonald's sundae. You know what I mean? The
Or
one that they're
at-
the machine's always broken.
At Dairy Queen, what do they call that thing? The tuxedo,
The
or
Blizzard.
something? It was like
The
like
Blizzard.
caramel and chocolate, and I don't know. But shout out to the dudes with the wavy hair walking in. Look at they're going straight to the bar. They're gonna go fuck shit up right now. Those dudes are great.
If you have a man bun, you're a dick.
Well, that guy didn't have a man bun, so he's doing all right.
Do you guys know anyone with a man bun?
Yeah, we do actually know a couple officers. Oh wait, we'll talk about that on this show.
Oh man, too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon. That guy
Too
went
soon.
viral, bro. Where was he out of? L.A.
Oh, there's 3 of them now.
Oh,
there's one in San Diego
shit.
now.
Oh, come
there's
on,
more
man.
than that. There's more than
Is there
that.
more than
Oh
that?
yeah.
No visible tattoos. It's unprofessional. Hey, Sarge.
Is that how that goes?
They got real quiet there. Why you guys?
Crickets.
Why you
Chirp.
guys going quiet
Chirp, chirp,
on
chirp.
me? Come on, man.
America. But anyways,
You can't have a man bun and like be ready to handle. I feel like you can't handle business. Or
well, we joke about it
Be
on the
expected
show
to? I
here,
don't know.
here at the BeerDad and Brewed
Tell me
Podcast is
about it.
because there's a lot of stereotyping in the world, and a lot of people like to stereotype craft beer aficionados as man buns and neck beards.
Yep, I could see that.
Like you see a guy like me with a big old beard and a flannel, you're probably like, that guy drinks IPAs, right?
That's the thing now too. Is
It's
people
real.
talk shit about people who drink IPAs.
It is. And the funny thing is if people actually got to know me, they would know that that's not my favorite beer. So it is stereotyping. I don't appreciate it.
It's my favorite beer.
I do like IPAs, but they're not my favorite.
But why do they talk shit about people who drink IPAs? Like, oh, because they're drinking the Coors Light.
Hey, it's just one of those things. It's the stereotype.
It's like hipsterish.
Yeah, hipster.
Yeah.
IPA guy.
IPAs?
Yeah.
Really?
Now it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All the cool kids aren't drinking IPAs anymore.
What are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're drinking
Oh,
haze.
they're
on it.
drinking
We got a whole-
everything.
We got a whole other hour.
They're drinking everything.
Okay, what's a generation drinking right now? I feel like they're drinking freaking Cosmopolitans or some shit.
White
Well,
Claws.
you're not far out. No,
White
you're not far out.
Claws,
That seltzers
Ain't
are
no
big.
laws when you're drinking a
Seltzers are
Claws.
big, getting white girl wasted. Right, it's
Gross.
a joke.
Disgusting.
Seltzers are big.
Seltzers
However,
are okay in certain moments.
No, never have.
You know,
them.
for you
but
guys-
not consistent.
you guys don't follow the beer industry as closely as I do. In the last couple years,
Weird flex. Okay.
seltzers, right? Seltzers and heavily fruited sours have been huge for the new generation of beer drinkers.
Makes
And-
sense.
And there's a lot of brewers that are like, "Fuck that! I'm never brewing a seltzer. I'm never putting fruit in my beer." And no. But you know what? We've talked about on the show, and I can appreciate it. And I don't seltzer. There's been like one or two seltzers that I've liked. I'm just funny about that. But when it comes to the heavily fruited sours, yeah, there's a lot. Baba Brew House, King's Brewing, Mortalis Brewing, all these breweries that make them. Eagle Park's one of them. And I mean, you're talking about like Jamba Juice in a beer. And it's really cool. But what's cool about that is, talking about the young kids, it brings them into craft beer. They get sucked in. They come in. They're like, hey, they just told me this is going to taste like a nerd's rope. It's got nerds and licorice in the beer. And then they drink it, and that this is good. And then they branch out and start trying other things. And then they like stouts, they like pilsners, they like IPAs. It brings them in. It's a gateway drug into craft beer, if you will. So I can appreciate it. But that's kind of where that trend was going for a while. It's starting to die off. And what's really cool for me and for a lot of us is right now what's really big and coming into style is crispy boys, lagers and pilsners, traditional German-style beers.
that's just not my style either.
I know, because you're an IPA guy. You like those hops. You like that burn on your tongue.
I can appreciate, a good craft beer, pilsner, lager.
Yeah.
Like those aren't my style, but I can appreciate it. But yeah,
That's what's in right now.
I can appreciate a good Coors Light.
You know what? If the weather's right, shower
about-
beer,
let me-
shower beer.
Yes.
dude.
Wait.
Or like
Shower
a Blue
beer?
Moon.
Are you a shower beer guy?
I like shower beers, but what about?
Okay, let's talk
what
about
if-
shower.
What if I
beers.
told you?
Let's get weird.
What if I told you there was a beer that's going to be an everyday drinking beer, and it's going to be called Dad Bod beer? What do you guys think about that?
I would buy
Okay.
it yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Yeah.
Well, keep an eye out for that. I might know a guy.
I'd be hitting up Anthony. Hey, you got that Dad Bod beer yesterday, bruh? No. Okay. So can we talk about what you mentioned earlier? Did the people
that?
already know about it?
No, we're not talking about it fully. But we'll just say if there's a
Okay.
beer
Let's
that
throw out
comes
little
out,
teasers.
If there was,
if
yes.
there was, and it was called Dad Bod beer, would you buy it?
I would.
Listeners, would you buy it? Thinking maybe like a Kolsch style beer, just an everyday, easy drinking, light bodied beer that you can crush in the shower, on the lawnmower, in the garage while you're tinkering. Right? You're just making a bunch of noise to make your wife think you're doing something.
Let me tell you something, man. As a dad, I mean, even you don't have to be a dad to enjoy it, but as a dad, I would relate to that shit. As soon as I saw it, like good branding, good label,
Yeah,
good beer.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'd be a dedicated a consumer of that for
I
sure.
like that.
All day, all day. Yeah.
Well, stay tuned, listeners. You might see something like that in the near future. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Woo!
I like. What do they call those Easter eggs in the movies? Where they give you those-
Easter egg.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's like you just put the tip in right now.
That's all you
just
get.
Like, hey,
The little tease.
hey,
Yeah, that's all you get.
tease.
So that's good.
Man, you little tease, bruh.
I've been told.
Damn,
I've been
bro.
told. Yeah, I've been told.
Man.
But
Okay.
back
I
to
know
the
I'm
beer.
excited.
Back to the beer we're drinking.
wanna-
Eagle Park. You want to make love to this beer?
I would fuck the shit out of this beer if it would
knew
let
it.
me.
I
I
knew
would. I would. Yeah, I would do weird things to this beer. You know what? Honestly, it's probably the best barrel aged stout I've ever had in my
Wow.
life. And
Eagle Park.
and I usually like them on draft, right? Like on draft, it's always better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's fucking good.
it's good shit. Huh?
That's good. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner right there, and dessert.
Love it.
This is Missouri,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Close
It's
enough.
the same thing.
Midwest, right?
Well,
Yeah.
because you have ties to Missouri. So I was thinking
do.
Missouri.
I do.
Yeah. We have the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Do they have a brewery there?
Sore subject, but yes, they do.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, we need to start one.
Yeah. So when I say that's a sore subject, shout out to Turkey. I can't even talk.
All right.
Turkey Creek Brewing in Hollister,
R.I.P.
Missouri.
Turkey Creek.
Yeah, no. No, they're still around. They're a shout out to those guys. They've been around, I believe, about to celebrate their 2-year anniversary or something like that. But anyhow, the exact location that they are in used to be a really cool bar that we would go to and partake in and do karaoke and all that garbage. And anyways, when it was for sale, showed the beer wife. This place would be an amazing brewery, and it was cheap. It was like $100,000 for 8.
Well, because you have family out there, right?
8 acres plus the building. And I was like, dude, the possibilities are endless. Beer fest. They had a brand new pizza kitchen installed in the bar. Like this was like the perfect spot, like for my vision. And of course, at the time, and it's okay. I still love my wife. She's just like, no. It's a big risk. It's this and that. Flash forward, Turkey Creek Brewing, the exact location that I saw was for sale, and they're very successful. So. Yeah, you can't wait. When you got an idea, you got to jump on it.
This is a whole other episode, but there's a lot of like-minded people like you, like me, like Anthony. They have these ideas, right? You're working your main 9 to 5, your hustle, your main grind.
Right.
But you have other ideas and things. Dude, work on it. Do it.
Yeah.
Freaking go after it.
Jump.
Go after it.
You have to jump. You have to make the leap.
You have to.
That's the hardest part.
And
It
you know
really
what?
is.
And it won't always work out. Most of the time, it won't work out. But
You try it,
you learn from that,
and
you'll
you'll never gain success unless you try.
You got to try it. And then there's we all know there's we all work with people in that industry that are miserable, right? Like you can get in that industry and you're good to go. You're happy, whatever. You're working your 30 years or your 25 years or your 85 years, depending on who you are. And that's your thing, right? But if you're not happy, find what makes you happy and what you're passionate about and freaking go all in on it.
Right.
Or start it up while you're still doing that and then go all in on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
so yeah, man, go get that brewery,
Do
bro.
it.
Get that brewery.
Grab that brass ring.
Anthony,
What?
if you could do anything,
In the world.
what would you do?
I'm going to say, this is going to be weird,
Let me hear it.
but if I hit the money, I don't know why, but you strike me as the type of guy that wants to own your own Reptarium.
Reptarium?
What does
Yeah.
that mean? Like he was in a... Is it
Like
got-
reptiles.
He's got some lizards in his
He's got
house?
snakes, lizards, all kinds of
I don't
crazy
see
animals.
that. I don't-
Yeah,
is he
what-
accurate?
And he's the owner, and
Absolutely
he's like
not.
the guy on social media that's like, crikey, and he's like jumping in the water with these things.
He's Steve Irwin?
yeah, but American version.
The American version. That's right.
I don't know, Anthony Mobley, reptile guy.
He's got a German Shepherd.
Yeah, that's my extent of animals.
Yeah, the German Shepherd would eat a fucking iguana.
So you're telling me you
and I'd
don't
watch.
want to mess with an anaconda?
No, okay, I actually don't like snakes at all.
Who does? Weird people do.
Snakes are all right. They don't bother me.
Weird. They're weird.
They don't bother. Didn't you kill a rattlesnake in your backyard?
Yeah, a couple of them. Fuck them.
See, I don't kill them. I'll just catch them and release them.
Well, so the rattlesnake, you got to kill them because they'll eat your dog. No, they won't eat your dog. But you know what I mean?
But if you throw them in a
But-
bucket and you chuck them like 3 miles away from your house, you'll never see them again.
No, that guy's he's got to die. He's got to die. So we murdered the rattlesnake, but then the gopher snake came, and the gopher snakes keep the rattlesnakes away. So
Yeah, those are good.
yeah, somebody called the fire department. I don't know.
So at work, I'm
and
allegedly...
they came and they relocated the gopher snake.
See, that's
but
what
the
I did.
rattlesnake died a violent death. Violent death.
At the 9 to
I
5
still think about it sometimes.
where I teach.
I look at pictures and videos of it. You want to see some? Yeah, we'll do that.
So I'm known as the snake wrangler where I teach because one day I heard a high-pitched scream. Go out there, a bunch of ladies in the lobby, and there was a snake in the lobby, and nobody was doing anything about it. So guess who had to catch it and get rid of it? That was me,
Amber.
snake wrangler.
yeah, I'm sure you can handle a snake pretty well.
I've been handling snakes my whole life. Wait, we're talking about snakes, right?
Yeah,
Haven't we
like
all?
reptiles.
Okay, yeah.
Haven't we all?
Anthony Mobley and the Reptarium.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got that from. I don't see you as
He's
a
making
reptarian.
it up. He's making it up. He's like all in. Like,
I've never
let me
heard the
tell you.
word reptarian until right now. tonight with you.
You've never heard of Reptarium before?
No.
There's one in Irvine area. Like, look it up.
I feel
The
like
guy's
that's
crazy.
I feel like that's a made up border.com word that they put in like an SOP. Like, hey, if you ever get a call about a Reptarian,
The S curves.
you transfer it to this number, or you will be written up on your 100 form.
The Reptarium. Stay tuned. Sacramento, California. Anthony Mobley's Reptarium.
Message me about a 100 form.
$6.50 for entry.
I feel like this is all getting cut out.
It might. We'll see.
This 2-hour podcast is going to turn into like a 29-minute podcast.
We're now down to 19 minutes and 47 seconds. Yeah, no, we're good.
Golly.
But we're good. No, and this is we're kind of towards the tail end here, and I'm really excited for you guys because something that everybody gets to experience here on the BeerDad and Brewed Podcast, they get to meet Grandma.
Ooh.
I've had her here. You guys haven't seen her. She's been hanging out at Nina. I pretty much keep her in the bar. She likes whiskey. So she's been drinking the whole time during this whole conference that we've been at.
My favorite kind of grandma.
But she always likes to join us on the podcast at the very end of the show to remind us about a very important subject. So with that being said, before Grandma comes on, I just want to thank you, John. Thin Vine Wines. Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show and sharing your product for our listeners. So for our wine people, check them out, Thin Vine Wines. You can see them on Instagram. You're doing a lot of traveling, going to a lot of events. You can order and have it shipped directly to your doorstep. Or, like you said, for those folks that live in San Diego County, if you want to place an order, you can actually pick it up in person at Escondido. Save yourself the shipping. But several different product lines of different types of styles of wine that all represent a different branch of first responder, military, or also breast cancer. And they donate $2 off of every label to a charity. So that's really awesome. So thank you for coming on the show, John. You're a great friend. I've known you for a long time now. It's like we're getting old, dude. But I'm very proud of you and your success. And it's really cool to be able to say, hey, dude, I know that guy. I got some stories about that guy.
Whoa,
I have some videos about that guy. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you, man. I miss you and miss hanging out with you. Thank you so much. And I really don't actually want this to end. I think we can keep talking.
Well, you can listen.
But I guess we could talk. We could talk without the podcast.
Yeah, well, we're not going anywhere.
That's the unedited version.
We just mind to get some food in our bellies, though. I think that's a must. Anthony's wasting away over there.
We're gonna get some pizza. Anthony's hungry. He wants some sushi.
Sushi pizza.
Yeah, sushi pizza.
Just put it on top. Roll it
I don't
up.
know. I took a wild guess.
Eat it like a hot dog.
I don't know. But thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
And good to see you again.
Yeah.
And I hope we can do it again soon. Awesome. And also proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job on the progress you've made.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, I think you could be an inspiration. I'm not crying. I just almost
He's choking up.
choked up my own spit because that's what happens when you're a degenerate old person. But no, man, I think you could be an inspiration to other dispatchers and everything that are sitting there like, hey, I want to do something else. I want to do something more. Keep doing your grind, keep doing your thing, keep hustling, keep grinding.
That's right.
But it doesn't mean that that's all you have and that's all you have to do.
Nope. Branch out.
Find what you're passionate about. Go all in on it. Look at this guy.
Spread your wings.
He's passionate about beer, craft beer. He's going all in on it. He's freaking. And guess what? He drinks beer for free.
A lot of times I do. Yeah.
Most of the times he drinks beer for free.
Yeah.
Because he's passionate about it and he talks about it and he's entertaining this. You'd be a good salesman, man.
I try.
I'm going to recruit this guy to sell Thin Vine Wines, baby. Thinvine.wine.
The next thing you know, he's like, dude, I got to let you go. You can't be selling shit to 12-year-olds. There's a legal limit.
That's frowned upon in California. Freaking California.
Right?
Yeah. Anthony, what plugs you got, bruh?
Yeah. None.
Thinvine.wine, baby.
Thinvine.wine.
Woo.
There you go. Thinvine.wine.
Follow
Check him out.
Thin Vine Wines.
Anthony Mobley. He is probably he never thought in a million years he was going to do a podcast.
He's a good dude.
But he's here and he was on it. So now he can say he did something, right?
Anthony's one of those dudes.
The one thing I've done in my life.
There it is.
Anthony's one of those dudes where, and this is just a testament to it. Like, I haven't seen this guy in, 5
8 years.
Like 6, 7
But
years.
like, he's just one of those dudes where you pick up where you left off, and it's all good. You know, like it's it. You know, it's just one of those like solid guys. So if you need a solid friend, just DM Anthony.
But you guys, you know,
at AnthonyMobley.com.
I can edit it if you want, but you guys technically are more than friends.
Ooh. Hey, you give me some more of those bourbon barrel aged stouts, bro? I'll do whatever you want.
Anthony's like, end the show now.
We
End it now.
potentially might be Eskimo brothers.
Eskimo brothers, yes.
Anthony just left. Anthony just walked out. He's gone.
Bye.
He's gone.
All right, with that being said, thank you, Eskimo brothers, for joining the show. No, I'm not part of that Eskimo brother thing, although that'd be really crazy if that really happened, because it'd be so random.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either.
Y'all need Jesus.
But anyways, we could potentially become Eskimo brothers because you might like Grandma. So we'll see. Here, let's Grandma take us home.
Cheers,
They
y'all.
also practice by drinking the urine of a ram.
The what?
They drink ram's piss.
Because of the pH balance?
No, because if you can drink ram's piss, fuck, you can drink almost anything.
She said fuck.
Oh, what is the malted liquor? What gets you drunk or quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer. Can't get enough of it. How we really love it. Beer. Makes me think I'm a man. Beer. I could kiss and hug it, but I'd rather chug it. Beer. My belly out to here. Beer. I could not refuse it. I could really use it. Beer. 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 Beer.
I can't remember how much I have had. I drank a 12-pack with my dad.